Hi and welcome to Aquatic Mike. Today I'm bringing you a fry development video of Gastrodermus C041. Currently we're looking at the fry 7 days old. At the time they were given microworms and also some commercially prepared foods. At 7 days old they measured 7 mm standard length or 1 cm total length. Standard length is the length between the nose of the fish towards the caudal peduncle, so just before the caudal fin starts, or the tail fin, and total lengths with the tail fin or the caudal fin included. They're currently in here with a cleanup crew of ramshorn snails. They were, or they're belonging to lineage 5, so they're a Gastrodermus species. Here we've got the fry at 2.5 weeks. I included some of this footage as well, just to give people an idea of how they're developing. In terms of pattern, I didn't measure the fish at this age. So they're just coded so far, and they may turn out to be a color form of elegans. However, I'm not sure whether if that's been resolved yet. I believe some DNA mapping might be needed. I don't think it's been done, at least so far. These fish can be found in the wild in Brazil, in the Rondônia province. There's a couple of other species that are similar to this, or that have been coded. You've got Gastrodermus C041, previously Corydoras C041. Those are also rather yellow in their finish. However, towards the tail you can see differences, and also like the markings on the like the yellow markings on the head of the fish going along the fish's body towards the tail fin. And there's a CW44, which is also similar. It's very similar, and I'm not sure whether if it's known where these fish come from. They also got markings on the top of their head towards the end of the fish. However, they differentiate slightly. And there's Gastrodermus CW8, which also has a line from the start of the head, but more towards the back of the fish. And in C041, the lines at the head of the fish bound together, which it does not in CW08. And there's also never mind, that's I guess the most similar species. I thought of one more, but that's the most similar. Here the fry are 1 month old. They're currently measuring 1.8 centimeter standard length and 2.2 centimeter total length. Here they've started getting a bit more commercial foods, starting to get more used to that. They're starting to resemble their parents slightly, with the yellow line on top of their head now. Although when they get slightly older, at around about 2 months or just above, they start to resemble their parents more. There's a fish that didn't grow as fast as the others. All of the fish currently in the tanks are C041, and this tank I think was some like 40 liter or so, I believe. I can't remember the measurements by it, but it's a group of around about 30 of these fry in here currently. And here we've got the fry at 2 months, so they're starting to resemble their parents a bit more. I'm just about to move them, that's why I've got the net in the tank, but also to like get a few of them from the back to come forward. They're a bit well, scared now, or they're gasping for oxygen. They're stressed out as I'm moving them. At 2 months they measured 2.1 centimeter standard length. I didn't take the total length at this time. But yeah, they're about to be moved to a 222 liter tank, measured 1 meter and 10 centimeter by 45 by 45, I think, where they'll continue their journey to grow out with a couple of other fry. I took some footage of them when they were 3 months as well. I've included that as well, although the difference in pattern ain't that much. Here they are, 3 months old. Now they're in here with, that's an Aspidoras fuscogutatus swimming by there. There's also some Osteogaster venezolanus in there. There may have been some other species as well, I'm not 100% sure, but it's the two that I've seen so far. When there are this many, it became slightly hard to get decent footage of them. And also because they're in a larger tank, they've got more place to swim and not get in focus or whatever. There may also have been some Osteogaster C041 in here. Not sure whether they were in at the time of filming. I haven't. Yeah, there's one in the footage now, hovering up above. They're not all that hard to breed, these fish. They put down quite small eggs, similar to Napuensis, if you bred these or those. At my first spawn, I believe I had like some 30 eggs or so. In continuous spawns afterwards, they put down more eggs at times and sometimes a bit fewer, but more often more than fewer. I also included some footage of their parents towards the end. Both in a specimen container, as I brought them in a specimen container just to photograph them, and also in a, not a community tank, but a tank where I kept their parents before trying to spawn them for a while, along with some other species of fish, both some fry growing out and some other adult fish that I did not have in a spawning tank at the time of the footage. I have, however, moved a few of them to spawning tanks since. And here's that footage. They're in here with some Osteogaster ainea, or previously Corydoras aeneus, and also some juvenile Brochisplendens, and some my breeding group of Hoplisoma panda, and also some adult Aspidoras fuscogutatus. And there might have been a couple of bristlenose in here as well. This is also a 222 liter tank, by the way. And I believe a common name for C041 is green band Cory. In case you see that in some store, I'm not sure whether if it's even used especially much, or I don't come across this Corydoradine fish especially often in shops, but I've seen them twice, I think. But hopefully I'll be able to spread them around a little bit more. This tank just contains these fish and also maybe a couple of bristlenose. And there's some Vallisneria in it, and yeah, there's a bristlenose underneath the sponge filter. But yeah, it's just used to host different fish, which I'm not currently trying to breed. Here we've got the male and female of the adults. There's the male and over there's the female. I guess that's all that I had for this species of fish. Please like, subscribe, share and comment, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. Bye.